round on behalf of the questions of political groups are concluded by Laura CASTEL on behalf of UL.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dear Minister, the peace process with Azerbaijan continues to face challenges related to the finalization and implementation of a comprehensive agreement, the border delimitation, a secure and sovereign connectivity, and outstanding humanitarian issues, including detainees, missing persons, and the rights of displaced populations. In this context, I know that you have explained a lot, but maybe you could elaborate more. How is your government working to advance the dialogue and confidence building, and what steps are being taken to promote progress with appropriate international support towards a sustainable and just peace? Thank you.
Mr. Minister, please.
Thank you very much. Both the government, political circles, and also the people of Armenia really make every possible effort to make sure that the peace established between Armenia and Azerbaijan is lasting, and this peace and the agreements that we have had already agreed between Armenia and Azerbaijan help us to bring the two countries and the region as a whole to the era of cooperation and prosperity. At the same time, we acknowledge that there are several layers of this very complex issue, and one is the humanitarian dimension, the fate of missing persons, the release of the 19 Armenian detainees from captivity from Azerbaijan. These are issues that should be addressed. Both the government and the civil society of Republic of Armenia, we continue our efforts and our negotiations, our discussions with, first of all, with Azerbaijani colleagues, but also with our international partners, because your support and your contribution is this very important issue is crucial, is vital, and will be much appreciated. I already touched upon one of the aspects of ongoing and the peace process of established peace. And here I'm speaking about the bilateral trade between Armenia and Azerbaijan. I'm speaking about the transit through territory of Azerbaijan to Armenia. Also, it is important to emphasize that immediately after this lift of ban by Azerbaijan, Armenia publicly, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia publicly declared that the borders of the Republic of Armenia are now open for transit to Azerbaijan and for Azerbaijan, as well as to Turkey and from Turkey. Unfortunately, our neighbors haven't used this opportunity so far. But also, along with this economic layer, economic aspect of the issue, I should also mention the cooperation and the dialogue that is established and is ongoing between the representatives of civic society. So since August, several visits took place to Azerbaijan and to Armenia, visits by respectively Armenian and Azerbaijani representatives of civil society. This is also a very important channel. Also, distinguished colleague, you mentioned the delimitation, and thank you for bringing this part of the process, Armenian and Azerbaijani normalization, to our attention as well. Delimitation basically is one of the cornerstones of this process. Within this process, and even before initialing the peace treaty, peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and even before the Washington Peace Summit, the two respective committees, border commissions of Azerbaijan and Armenia, they have agreed upon a document which was ratified by the Parliament of Republic of Armenia, and also it got the necessary internal procedures in Azerbaijan as well. So this was the first ever document, official document, agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And in this document, the two countries, through their border commissions, they agreed that the delimitation of the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan should take place on the basis of Alma-Ata Declaration. And I'm very sorry, dear colleagues, for overloading you with too many details, but this is the context that I should mention. So Almaty Declaration is the document which was signed by former Soviet Union republics, saying basically two things. That first of all, Soviet Union is stopping existing, and secondly, that newly independent states recognize that the former administrative borders between them as Soviet Socialist republics are now becoming interstate and internationally recognized borders between them as independent states. So why this is important? This means that even before the Washington summit, Armenia and Azerbaijan, they recognized that the delimitation should take place on the basis of Almaty Declaration. So the borders that existed between them during Soviet times, at the time at least of the collapse of Soviet Union, are the international borders. So they recognized each other's, fully recognized each other's territorial integrity. And this made possible to have a very tangible achievements when it comes to the limitation. Part of our small part, but it is still an achievement. Part of our border is already delimited, and the respective commissions, they continue working. Another very interesting nuance, like I said, this document, it passed through internal domestic procedures, including the approval by the Constitutional Court of Armenia. So this is interesting to note. By that time, and by doing that, Constitutional Court of Armenia recognized that the borders which were established or recognized, acknowledged by the Almaty Declaration are fully constitutional and have no contradiction with the Constitution of Armenia. Thank you, and I'm very sorry for this long and probably boring answer.